Hello, YouTube. What is stressing me out? Great question. I would love to tell you. I've been watching TikTok. So, tomorrow, okay, my infant is 3 months old, going on 4 months. And tomorrow is her 2-month appointment. So, we're a bit behind. So, basically, between our pediatrician's busy schedule and then her actually like taking off for Christmas and stuff like that, there was no availability for an appointment really. And so now we're like quite a bit behind. And she's due to get shots. And yeah. So my husband and I have been knocking around the idea of doing a delayed schedule with her. We did not do a delayed schedule with our toddler. We talked about it. We were going to, and then we just didn't. There was just so much going on in our lives. And I had what I will call undiagnosed postpartum anxiety with my daughter. I don't know what else to call it. I'm not going to call it postpartum depression. I really don't know what else to call it other than postpartum anxiety. But it was wild. It was really wild. It was a wild time. And if you've been following along, you know that I've been making every effort to make sure I didn't fall into anything like that with this baby. I'm finding that a bit harder and harder to do. And I know everybody always talks about the 4th trimester. And what I don't hear people talking about is like beyond that for whatever reason. And like for us, it's like I've said on here before, our new normal keeps changing. It's like you're in maternity leave, and then like my husband went back to work, and then I went back to work, and then holidays hit. We had all these holidays in here and a lot of stuff happening and going on. And then I'm gonna lose my mother-in-law as a babysitter, and it's gonna be all on my mom. And it's just like constant, changes and things like that. And I'm not saying that I feel that I'm slipping into those things that I went into with my toddler. I'm not saying I am, but I'm saying because I'm trying to stay so present and so connected to my baby and to myself so that I don't allow myself, I don't allow that to happen. I just noticed that recently it's been more difficult to kind of fend that off. You know what I mean? There's just been a lot going on. And I want to be more things to more people. I want to be in more places. My mom was taking my grandma's Christmas decorations down the other day, and I was stressing out about that. I was actually going to do that either today or tomorrow and stuff. And I just I'm trying, you know what I mean? I've also been dreading this doctor's appointment for weeks now, and now it's approaching and it's tomorrow, And I don't want to throw around the term like PTSD willy-nilly, because I know like our troops have PTSD, and like people that have experienced really horrible things have PTSD. So I don't want to use that term, but I don't know what term to use. But what I will say is, in approaching this doctor's appointment, I can tell that prior like doctor's appointments, like during this phase that I went through with my toddler, that like they weigh on me, and they've left an imprint on me. I think the thought of doing this tomorrow is just outlandish. Like, it's very stressful. And to be fair, I am a very privileged person, and I have never had to do a shot appointment alone. I've always had someone to go with me, with my daughter, and tomorrow I don't. It's just gonna be me and her, and that's fine. It's just a stressful thing when you already have like thoughts and feelings on something and you're already a little bit overwhelmed. It's just, I don't know. So I'm trying to keep it together, and I'm not falling apart, but it's just, you're just like, I don't know. Yeah, everybody says she's chubby, and she is chubby. I love that about her. I've always wanted a chubby baby, and I got a chubby baby. But I don't know what the doctor's gonna say about that. They're gonna ask what she eats in a day. I'm gonna wing it. I haven't been tracking that because I've been trying so hard to, again, be in the moment. I've been trying so hard to just go off my daughter's cues. I'm not trying to make her fit a chart, you know? But, like, then I don't know how to answer the questions, you know? And the milestones, I think she's hitting them. I don't know. I'm not obsessively, like, reading all that stuff, you know? And I did with my daughter, postpartum anxiety. They say that's like a, you know, a telltale sign of it. And I've really tried to keep that at bay. And so I'm going to do my best and answer the questions. And then I know we'll get to the end of the appointment and she's going to say, okay, do you have any more questions for me? I'm going to say no. And then she's going to, her and her nurse are going to give my daughter shots. And then she's going to scream her head off. And then I'm going to want to rush out of the doctor's office. Like, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Tell me I'm not alone. I mean, I know it'll be okay, but just to, like, tell me I'm not alone here. This is bonkers. I hate that. They put those charts up on the screen and they're like, this is where she measures up. Has she done this? And you're like, no. It's okay. I've been through it once before. It's okay. She's not going to go to college not being able to roll over. You know what I mean? It'll be fine. We haven't rolled over yet. She's trying. It's fine. It's fine. My husband and my husband's cousin, my pregnancy twin person, they've both said, and it is true, you pay them for a service. We are paying them for a service. I just feel like I'm getting in trouble. And I've never been real good with that, you know. It doesn't matter how many wrinkles you get. It doesn't go away. You're like, oh no, I'm in trouble. It's okay. Because my daughter's doing very, very well. She's healthy. She's well-rounded. She's great. So I have nothing to be concerned about. It's just I hate these doctor's appointments. It has been absolutely lovely of the fact that she's behind on these doctor's appointments. I haven't had to go. It's been lovely. It's been wonderful. It's enabled me to focus on other things. You know what I mean? Oh, the doctor said she should be doing this. The doctor said. That was me with my first daughter. And it was a nightmare too, because I want to do the best for my kids that I can. I really do. I am trusting my instincts more with this one. I should have done that with the first one. I do that with the first one more now. No, it's this. Hello, open your eyes. It's this. But I should have done that in infancy. Which brings me to another topic that I'm not going to linger on at all, but I am going to address. And that is, so I have been very, very forthcoming with everyone. Even whether people have opinions about it or what, you know, I've been very forthcoming in saying I'm not ready to have the conversation. The conversation of whether or not we're having more kids. I am not ready to have that conversation because in my head I already know. It does not make sense for us to try to have more kids. It doesn't. Our ages, our lifestyle, with my husband traveling with his job and stuff, the way that my body handles pregnancy and childbirth, delivery, you know. Honestly, I could go on and on. There's a laundry list of reasons of why it would not be smart to attempt to have another child. That is exactly why I said, we're not trying for a kid right now, you know, that's all, whatever. So we don't need to have the conversation. We don't need to put a pin in that. We don't need to nail down the coffin. We don't need to talk about that right now. And my husband decided the other night it would be a good idea to talk about it. And I have to be totally honest and say I haven't been great ever since then. You hear my fridge? I really haven't been super good. because I already was thinking in those terms sometimes, but now, like, every time I look at my daughter, I'm like, this is it. Anyway, like I said, I'm not lingering there, and I did get frustrated because I was like, I have said I'm not ready for that conversation. There is a reason I'm telling you I'm not ready for that conversation. Why are we having that conversation? What is going on? Why are we talking about this? My whole brain and my whole heart, we still have to process that. We know the facts, okay? We know the facts. And I think it's just like, I do like to be open and communicate with things. But then there are some things that if they feel really big to me, I have to chew on them for a while. And the severity will determine the length of time I need to chew on them and process them, And I think sometimes people don't understand that, and that's fine. That's fine. And some people just want to talk about stuff, and my husband's not just like a big talker, but some people just want to talk something to death or whatever, and that's fine. I too can be that way. But there are some things that I'm just like, I need to mull this over. I need to work this through. I need to get to a point of acceptance for all the outcomes before we sit down and we have this conversation. I'm not ready. And I've gotten better in my old age in communicating that, where I will look somebody in the face and say, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And so that's just been something else, So I'm not trying to be a ball of emotion, but I have a few things going on right now. I have a couple of events coming up where I will be separated from my children for just like a day, you know what I mean? Like not long. But again, there are reasons why I feel like if it happens, like I need to do them, there are reasons in like a bigger picture of things. But that's hard to do when you're a mom. Unless it's just, you have the week-to-week thing when you're trying to work out a schedule so that you can actually keep your job. This is just where I'm at right now. This is just where I'm at. If you're a mom, you relate to this, comment below. And if you don't, and I'm some kind of crazy person, keep it to yourself. I'm not in the mood for your comment. I would say I'm just kidding, but I'm really not. I mean, but you're trying to work out the schedule and you finally get that work done. And these other like one-off weird things come up and you're like, okay, I just want to say no. Okay, but this, and this reason is why I feel like I can't say no. Okay, now I need to line up a sitter for that. Okay, then you have that stress. Okay. Then you have this doctor's appointment that's in there, and it's just, I have to be in there, and my baby's gonna be screaming her head off and in pain and looking at me. That look that babies give you, where they're like, "How dare you? You let them put a needle in my body twice or 3 times or whatever it is," and you're like, they look at you with this, or at least my daughter did, this look of betrayal. And they look straight at you like, how dare you? That'll be happening with me at 10:30 in the morning. I just don't want to do it. Motherhood. They don't talk about that. They say, oh, I had a doctor's appointment this morning. Really? Were you traumatized? Because I was. I hope it goes well. I'm going off of prior experience whenever I clearly had postpartum anxiety and I had no confidence as a mother hardly, and my toddler was hysterical when she would do, this is a completely different baby. We have a completely different relationship. I'm 3 years older. I'm 3 years a veteran of being a mother. Like, I'm not as new to it, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. But this pit, like, I have this pit in my stomach that just is like having, like, the remembering of these appointments with my toddler. And it's just, It's okay. Here's our chart. Here's where she's at. I hate that. And my daughter always did really well on those too. I just hate that. Because I'm like, kids are kids. You're going to put them on a chart? Really? That's silly. Everybody develops at different ages, you know? Hello. So I'm glad that I haven't had time to edit or post the video that I made last night, which was the beginning of this video, because now I'm post doctor's appointment. It was a stressful time. I'm not going to lie. It was stressful, but we made it through it. I just tried to remain calm and confident the whole time. As far as being on a delayed schedule, we're delayed because of the way that the doctor's appointments worked and everything. It's kind of forced us to be on a delayed schedule. We're not, she just had her 2-month shot. She's almost 4 months old. We're not going to have a 4-month doctor's appointment. We're not going to have another appointment until she's 6 months old. This is working out in my favor. It's definitely a God thing. Like, it, you know, for me, it's just, because it's a stressful time. She cried for sure. She cried with pretty much everything that they did. And then of course she purple-faced cried whenever she got the shots. And so, but I just tried to remain calm. I just tried to calm her down and just be there with her and be present and not feel rushed or anything. So by the time we got out to the car, she was great. I mean, by the time I left, I was not going to leave the room until that child was calmed down. And usually I have someone else at these appointments with me, and I just have them like whisk the child out to the car. And then I go up to the counter and I make the next doctor's appointment. Well, with this, I thought, I don't have to have an appointment for 2 more months. I will wait until someone is watching my toddler and things are kind of calm, and I'll go ahead and call and schedule that appointment. But I am not going to be in any rush. I just didn't allow myself to feel rushed in any way. I didn't want to leave the room until she was calm. That's what I did. Got her in her car seat, got her out to the car, and then she was great. The way home, she was great. So, you know, we survived. Everything was okay. Came home, you know, she's got Tylenol. She still has her Band-Aids on her. We still have to get the Band-Aids off. Oh, she's waking up. And I have some salve. I'm like a holistic type mom, or at least I try to be. I mean, you know, I just said I gave her Tylenol. I'm scrunchy. I'm somewhere in the middle. But I have this oil mixture that I always made for my toddler. And I have it made for my baby now, and so we'll be doing bicycling her legs, and I'll be giving her massages with each diaper change. I'm just relieved. I'm just relieved to have it over with. I still don't know exactly how she's going to react to it, but so far she's okay. So, but the Tylenol hasn't worn off yet, so there's that. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.